Welcome back, everybody. Happy Tuesday. I know it's an adjustment. Why is Jackie here on Tuesday and Thursday this week? Good morning, Sarah. Good morning, Nikki. Karen says good morning, Jackie and all. Teresa, good morning. Greetings, Jackie. Good morning, Victoria. Hi, Bonnie. Hello, Kelsey. Good morning. Hi, Nikki. Alda, good morning. Hi, Amber. Hi, Rosemary. Nice to see you here. If this is your first time with me, my name is Jacqui Mancuso. I'm joining you from Northern Illinois. Today we're going to talk about astrology. I'm going to explain what's going on in the skies in regards to the solar eclipse new moon happening tomorrow. And then we're going to pull some oracle cards to, just learn and all that stuff. So I'm glad that you guys are here. That looks like another language, but hello, welcome. Not even going to try. How has everyone's weekend been? How are things going? Solar eclipses and lunar eclipses in general, bring large change. And over the last week, things have just been like clicking into place with change for me. I wouldn't be surprised if you guys are having some things that are like clearing out of your life in order to make way for new energy. So we'll talk about the eclipse like in detail, but eclipses they're big energy. They're big monumental shifts, and they will affect about a month before they occur, and then for about 6 months or longer after. Good morning, Yvonne from Southern Illinois. So if like the last month, if you've had some monumental things occurring, which I wouldn't be surprised because we just started the zodiac year, about a month ago is when we had the Aries equinox and we started Aries season, the beginning of the zodiac cycle. So things like, my day job fell away from me. Rather, I ran from it. So, like, that's a new venture. That's a very eclipse type thing, to quit your job. My husband's grandma passed away over the weekend. That is, she's been in a home for a while. So that was like an eclipse type feel. My aunt's health has been declining. Like, the eclipse, stuff like that. And I'm just curious if you guys have been having, and not necessarily loss or death in your life, but like if you had a falling out with a friend, or if just some type of energetic clearing, like if you had a falling out with a family member, or if you lost a pet, or, just something like that. Thank you, Bonnie and Jackie. The dogs are sorry too. It was actually beautiful. There's never, ever, ever butterflies near our house. She passed away Saturday morning, but on Thursday and on Friday, there were 2 butterflies in our backyard. And Paul was like, we know. Like, that has to be Grandma. So, like, she knew, and she gave us a heads up. So, yeah, all that stuff is comforting. It's all the process. It's all the cycle. Karen, yes, absolutely. Major changes in my work world. Interesting, Hannah. Major energies with friends and family members for sure. Yeah. Sarah says no losses here, but been very emotional and feeling lost. Lack of motivation. Not sure if this is something that would be an effect. So, Paul buying in. He gets it. So my husband gets this stuff. He's just like tiptoeing around it. He just has way too much going on in his mind to fully embrace all this. But he's a very magical being. That'll come later in life. I'm giving it like 30 years. So Sarah, you're asking, like, not sure if that would be something that's affecting this way. Here's the thing with astrology. You can listen to as many different astrologers as you want when it comes to these transits and what's happening, and we're all going to have our own opinion, because astrology, sure, there's like the textbook, like Venus equals XYZ, Jupiter equals XYZ, like the Oh, that's Darla. I don't think you guys have ever seen Darla. Everything means something, but every planet, every transit, every sign have like a million different archetypes. It's not just one answer. So that's one part of it. The other part of it is that everything that's happening currently in the sky aspects what the sky looked like when you were born. Like the aspects to your natal birth chart. So while, you know, a transit could be happening and I could be talking about it's the luckiest day of the year, which was last Tuesday, Sun conjunct Jupiter, luckiest day of the year, Paul's mom went to the hospital. Like, just because it's lucky and like the sun was expanding Jupiter, that could be happening in a place in your chart that like that expansion might be expanding like your Pluto that breaks stuff down, or it could be expanding your Saturn. So like you have extra responsibilities when it's supposed to be the luckiest day of the year. So that like understanding your own natal chart and having an understanding, just a base, right? You don't need to be like an astrology expert. But when you come here and you listen to me talk about like, oh, this is what's happening in the sky, and then I always recommend to pull out your own natal chart and look at where this degree is, it can give you kind of like a heads up about how that might impact your exact life, if that makes sense. So I do have Astrology 101 on Insight Timer, 13-day audio course. I think it's great. I've gotten a lot of really good feedback about it. It's very basic. It's the basics. If you want to have some grasp of what the hell I'm talking about when I'm blabbing astrology, take Astrology 101 and literally bring your printed out natal chart to my classes and see how much that helps. I love it. Hi, Lynn. Welcome. Amber says, finally released a negative habit I've been struggling with for decades. The universe is definitely supporting me. A major shift. I love it. So I've been, like, even myself, I'm talking about, like, oh, this person died, this person's sick, this person's in the hospital, but, like, I'm in the best place career-wise that I ever have been. I'm not established and I'm not settled, but like the energy of like leaving my day job and fully working for myself, like I feel like Jupiter right now. I feel excited that I have all of this stuff ahead of me. And that wouldn't have happened had I not let go of my safety net, you know? Savarna, I'm feeling good, grateful, feeling a shift happening into something new and unknown. That's my favorite territory. Sarah says that makes sense. Thank you, Jackie. I have my chart ready and printed, but haven't gotten into it yet. I'll look into your course. Jackie says it is so informative. Nikki said we'll listen to your course as well. I'm trying to think of like, I don't know. I love metaphors. Nothing's coming up right now. So let's talk specifically about this solar eclipse. And if you have your chart handy, look it up. See where 29 degrees of Aries is in your chart. So go to your chart, look for the little V with wings. I think that's how Jackie said it last time. Aries, depending on the software you're using, it's usually red because Aries is a fire sign. But look for the Aries section of your chart and look at all the way to the right. The signs are 30 degrees, so 29 would be the last little tick mark. Right before Taurus, the circle with the halo. So tomorrow, the new moon solar eclipse is happening tomorrow evening for me. I'm in Central Time, and it's going to happen at 11:15 p.m. So if you're Eastern or across the pond, it's going to happen for you on Thursday morning. But eclipses occur when either the new moon or the full moon happens close to the nodes of the moon. So in astrology, that's why it's an eclipse. In astronomy, it's the way that the planets are lined up, and we've all learned that in school, right? So right now, the north node of the moon is at 4 degrees of Taurus. So this eclipse is happening 5 degrees away from the north node. The north node represents where we need to go as a collective in order to achieve our highest destiny in this lifetime. It's kind of like the compass facing north, the north node. Like, go this way if you want to ascend and evolve. So what's interesting about this eclipse is eclipses in general. So it's the new beginning of the new moon, new beginning, new adventure, planting a new seed right next to where we need to go. So this is why eclipses bring that fated type change. You know, you can't stop it. Something's going to change in your life. And most of the time it's pretty monumental. So like I said earlier, ecliptic energies are felt for about a month before the eclipse occurs, and then their effects last 6 months or more. So a lot of times with eclipses, something happens that might not necessarily feel like a major shift in the moment, but then if you review and you think back to 6 months ago, a year ago, when the eclipses were, it's usually like that 2020 vision that you're like, oh, okay, that makes sense. Like, yes, because of that one conversation with my friend, my whole trajectory changed. So if you want to just take a second, last year, the eclipses happened late April and mid-May. So it was like April 30th, I think, and like May 14th off the top of my head. So if you want to, I don't know, reflect on that time and see if anything shifted in your life, that was, yep. And then there was also some eclipses late October and early November. I think that was like October 25th and November 8th. Yeah, and it's actually in my to-do list today to look back at my daily tarot pulls for those times, just to like see what I was talking about back then. Bonnie says, 5th house for me, North Node neighboring nearby in Taurus. That's right, because Bonnie is having a North Node return this year. So this is a big one for you, Bonnie. 5th house creation. What did you just create last night? Jackie says, no wonder I was a wreck last year at this time, feeling similar feelings now. That's the way the cookie crumbles. But you didn't feel like this for the whole year, right, Jackie? Charlotte says, I would love to see you offer a chart reading Zoom class, a step-by-step course. I think you've brought that up before, or someone has brought that up before. I have a lot going on right now, but I'll put that in my idea bank. Jennifer says, last year, major changes. I moved across country and started a new job. Mine is in the 1st house. 1st house, sense of self. Self-understanding. Ego, personality, even appearance. What should we be checking in the natal? So Nikki, we're looking for where 29 of Aries is in your chart, because that's where tomorrow's solar eclipse is happening. 29 Aries. Jackie says, right, it passed. I think I'm working through feelings this time from a better perspective. It's the spiral. You learn the same lesson over and over, and it comes up a lot like, man, I thought I learned that lesson, but here we go on the next deeper level. And then, oh, it's coming back again. Everything is a spiral. Bonnie says, woohoo, I created my contact page with an international therapist page last night. Congrats, Bonnie, getting started on your own healing practice. Proud of you. That's so exciting. Svarna, nothing in Aries, but Sun, rising Mars, all 29 in Virgo. Does the degree matter? Yes. Today we're just going to worry about what's happening at 29 degrees of Aries. I have a lot to talk about, so we're just going to keep our laser point focus right there. If 29 degrees is right on the line between 8th and 9th, how do you interpret? So, Jackie, if you're using, I don't know off the top of my head, but some softwares, like you can get a PDF of the chart and it'll tell you what degree each house starts on. So, and if you look really, really close, if the line is on 29 degrees, then that would mean that your 9th house starts on 29 degrees. So this is a weird like transition eclipse for you, transitioning between the 8th house occult, mystery, death, sex, rebirth into higher awareness, philosophy, exploration, learning. Aries is in my 4th, and I just bought a couple acres of land. Yes, I love it. Lifelong dream of mine. That's exciting. Lucy, I'm learning lessons. Painful, yes. They can be. All right. 29 degrees tomorrow. That is where the solar eclipse is happening. It's the last degree of Aries, and it's almost like a paradox because we have a new moon, a new beginning at the very last degree of Aries. Aries is the sign that's all about the self. So I see this as stepping into the next level of yourself, starting a new chapter after completing a full cycle of understanding, if that makes sense. So it's like, at the very end of the sign, now here's this new beginning. Like, you've had to get to know yourself in so many different ways in whatever house this is falling in your chart. How you bring your personality to this area of your life. It's like this solar eclipse is taking the most evolved version of you, and the universe is saying like, all right, cool, start your new chapter here. Like, start your new book at this point. You're evolved, you're ascended, you understand, you've had some enlightenment about yourself and how you show up in this area of your life. Start anew. I love it, Bonnie. Sounds about right. Get to know yourself, new beginning. Yep. So this solar eclipse is also being amplified by our good friend Jupiter. So Jupiter is at 23 degrees of Aries. 9 minus 3, I had to do math. So Jupiter is 6 degrees away. Jupiter expands whatever he's by. So this new beginning that is going to affect you for such a long time is amplified. It's like extra powerful. Jupiter brings abundance, luck, generosity. Think Santa Claus energy. Kay's moon is in Aries at 29 degrees. A new way of experiencing your emotions. Knowing that your emotional auto triggers don't need to be that same automatic. That's what feels right now. During this solar eclipse, we also have Pluto playing with a lot of the placements. Pluto the Destroyer. Pluto likes to dig everything down to the most bare bones and throw away everything that doesn't serve the highest good. But then Pluto empowers what does stay. He gives power, to what deserves to stay, I guess. So Pluto is squaring this eclipse. Squares happen when there's a 90-degree angle in the sky, and this is just like feels like tension. Like, let me go, let me do this, but the tension is there. And it doesn't have to be hard. It's just like a roadblock, kind of, but then once you get over that roadblock of that energy, it's such like a, oh my gosh, thank God I got there. You know, it's so relieving, and it's like a spurt of growth after you get past that square energy. So Pluto is squaring this eclipse, and since the eclipse is happening conjunct Jupiter and the North Node, Pluto is also squaring Jupiter and the North Node. So this can feel very heavy, just like a lot is changing really fast. And again, like I said, this is not just like tomorrow your world is gonna blow up. Like for the past month and then for the upcoming 6 months, sorry. But like it's gonna feel just like rapid, but like you kind of can't catch your... I'm seeing someone like trying to climb up a ladder that's falling down. But that doesn't mean that you're never going to get to the top. It's just going to take a little bit of effort at some time. Kimberly, my moon is in Aries in the 7th house. Feeling about relationships, one-on-one relationships in your life could have a new beginning. Claire, your moon's at 29-degree Aries. I love it. I love it. I love it. So when we have these, all of these moon events, all new moons, full moons, you can look at the sign where this event is happening. In this case, it's Aries. And then you can look at the chart where the planet who rules Aries is living. Are you following me? So this new moon is happening in Aries. Aries is ruled by Mars. So Mars is the ruler of this solar eclipse. So what you can do is take a look at where Mars is in the chart to get an extra feel for how this is going to play out. Mars right now is in Cancer. Cancer is a water sign. Emotional yet intuitive. But Mars is having a harmonious aspect with Saturn. Mars and Saturn are trine. Saturn is in Pisces. So Mars is like the planet of getting stuff done. It's your energy, your ambition. Saturn is father time. He's the divine father who keeps us in check, keeps us on a schedule, gives us our to-do list, make sure that we're being true to our responsibilities. So with Mars trining Saturn, harmonious, good, thumbs up across the sky, this is giving us like the power to do what needs to be done. This is helping us take those steps, those uncomfortable steps of all this change. Mars is also forming a sextile, which is an aspect that I don't talk about here a lot on Insight Timer. I talk about the big ones. Sextile is a positive aspect, but it's less impactful than the trine. So Mars right now is also sextile Mercury and Uranus in Taurus. So we have Mars in Cancer, we have Mercury and Uranus in Taurus, harmoniously playing with each other, but this is something that like you have to tap into. The trine is happening for you. Like it's just there. It'll be there. The sextile energy, this is like you have to be conscious of it in order to tap into it. So Mars in Cancer, sextile Mercury and Uranus in Taurus, easing your tough action by thinking a little bit differently about what you have, right, in Taurus. So Mercury is your thoughts. Uranus is that like wild card planet. So like thinking differently about your Taurus themes, your security. Maybe you are more secure than you think you are. Maybe all this stuff falling away is because you don't need the false security. My God, I can just apply that to me quitting my day job last week. It's a false sense of security. I have something in the works that's going to be so much more appealing to my soul and probably more profitable than spending time working for someone else for a safety net type job. So, and it's because I had to get out of that poverty consciousness of like, well, I need this source of income just in case. New thoughts, Mercury conjunct Uranus. And then hours after this eclipse occurs, the sun and moon both walk into Taurus. Hours after, not even a full day. So this whole experience of the solar eclipse tomorrow to me feels like a birthing process. And I laughed at myself when I made these notes because I'm describing the birthing process and I still haven't been there yet. But it feels like just so difficult, so strenuous, so chaotic. At the very end of Aries, it's just all of this like, everything's changing. I don't know why everything is falling away. My whole world is being flipped upside down. But we need to go through that because it's like we're almost done reinventing ourselves. It's like this is like one of the last, it's like the final stretch of reinventing yourself. And then we get this breath of fresh air as we step into Taurus season on Thursday. It's just like the most beautiful, nurturing, calming hug from nature after we walk through the solar eclipse that might be a little like, Hello, Pavni. I am new here. You walked in at a very intense time, but I promise we have a lot of fun here. Thanks for coming. We're about to pull some oracle cards. Savarna, I left my day job 10 to 12 years ago. Such a positive move. I know it is, and it's scary. It's scary to let go of your safety net. For me, it's a part-time side job. For you guys, your safety net might look like something else. It might look like a relationship that you think you need. It might look like having tangible items in your house. Like, man, my dad was such a hoarder because he was filling holes in his heart that he didn't know how to fill. So he filled it with stuff. You know, it's all, we all have our things. And it's okay to let go of things that you think you need. Question yourself. Hello, Rev. Nice to see you. Fourth house, Anne, is home, family of origin, your roots, your privacy, like where you go to retreat, where you feel the most like I can let my hair down and be myself. Yes. Before we go into the oracle cards, I wanted to ask you guys for a favor, I guess. So, how do I start? I'm trying really hard to be very transparent with you guys about like my life and what I'm doing, because I know it's difficult to make big changes, but like I don't care sometimes. And so I'll just like do these radical things, and I hope to be an example for you guys, to show you by example that like life isn't as hard as we say it is. So I'm starting this new venture. Hello, Andrea from New Zealand at 2 a.m. Thanks for joining us. I am hopefully on Thursday. Okay, you guys know I like to promise things on time and then I deliver on time because I'm a Taurus. Hopefully on Thursday, I will be launching my new coaching program. If you want details, join my email list. My link tree is in my Insight Timer bio. Everything is there. But in order for me to show people the value of working with me, you know, like that question when people meet you for the first time and they're like, tell me about yourself. Like, isn't that the hardest question in the world? Because we live our own experience, so it's, you know, hard to grasp that. But I wanted to ask you guys, why do you come to these sessions? Like, why are you here? What do you get out of this? Because I know what I'm giving, but I have no idea what you guys are getting from this, you know? Like, I know you obviously like being with me because you're here over and over, but I wanted to ask a favor because I can't watch these replays on Insight Timer, like the chats go away. I don't have access to the chats afterwards because of my issues. But if you guys can email me, my email is in my link tree, my website is in my link tree. If you guys wouldn't mind taking like 1 to 2 minutes of your life to just tell me why you're here, to help me get perspective into your mind. I love knowing what other people are thinking. That would be just so appreciated. Or if you want to talk about it here, and I'll try to remember what I can, but like I would love to have that concrete, just this is why I'm here with you, in an email. That would mean the world to me. Actually, consider that my birthday present. My birthday is next Thursday, so there you go. Thank you guys. I had to get that out there. That was awkward. Asking for support. Lynn says, my partner and I did break up during the weekend. End and new beginnings. I get support from you, Jacqui. Right there. Lynn, I know that was weighing on you for a while, so I'm excited for you. Breakups are so bittersweet. So bittersweet, but you got it. You got it. Claire says, your perspective and personal hard work, perhaps natural positivity. Also your astrological wisdom. Thank you, Claire. Thank you, Claire. Bonnie says, I come here for the energy of the tribe. What you have created is a place where I have grown and I am able to connect with myself. Thank you, Bonnie. I'm gonna try. Okay, I was able to screenshot those, but let's get into the oracle reading. Today I want to ask, this deck felt right to me, the Star Codes Astro Oracle. I want to ask our higher selves what we need to know about this solar eclipse. What we need to know about whatever is going on right now. So these are group readings. If you would like to send your energy into this deck so that we can pull the most effective and aligned group reading. Jane, I was just asking for you guys to let me know why you keep coming back. If you could do so in an email, because I'm not able to get these chats back after I'm done with this live. And I don't think I'll be able to keep screenshotting the whole thing because I want to be in the moment of my oracle reading. But yeah, just to help me understand what people are getting out of my blabbing. If you know what I mean. Thank you, Jackie, for describing. Charlotte, thank you very much for your donation. I appreciate that. I saw something else. Oh, Lynn is getting so much support. I love it. Nikki says, my third live with you, and I really enjoy listening to you and the knowledge you share. Thanks, Nikki. Thank you. You are very wise and your positive mindset is contagious. I always feel better after your lives. Oh, thanks, Erin. That's so sweet. Love the design in these cards. Yes, likewise, likewise. Good morning, Kim. All right, so we're asking our higher selves what we need to know during this solar eclipse. Like, what is happening? What is some advice that'll help us through it? Where can we place our focus as we move through these changes? Bonnie, you're the best. Thank you so much. When I do these readings, they are group readings. So the whole message is for all of us. However, there might be one or two cards that feel more strong to you. Wow. So don't think too much about it. I'm just going to show you the cards, the backs of the cards, so that you're going to keep seeing that same image. But I want you to just feel into your body, mindfully notice if anything changes. If it doesn't, cool. Don't expect anything. Just notice. And that might be your spirit guide saying like, hey, hey, pay attention to that card. But the whole reading is for all of us. So here is the back of card number 1. The back of card number 2. And the back of card number 3. I'm so excited to read these. Charlotte says I'm breaking up a bit. Is that happening to anyone else? Lucy says, I can't see others' comments. I'll send you an email about why I love your lives, Jackie. A birthday present from your birthday twin. Thank you, Lucy. And I've heard that a lot of people have that issue. They just can't see the other comments, which is, I just love reading your comments because this isn't Jackie hour. This is the tribe hour. So yeah, I'm happy to read them. Jackie knows she's working with 2. Jackie working that cognizance. Jane says that Bonnie is so helpful. I so appreciate the write-ups. Yeah, Bonnie has been helping out with putting the oracle recaps in our spiritual community. So I love Bonnie. Thank you. There's a lag time. I'm going to go out and come back in. Some lag in the video. Video's glitchy and delayed. I'm frozen on my own screen now, so this is difficult. But I'm being told that I'm good to go, and I will hold up the cards one more time. Here is the back of card number 1. The back of card number 2. And the back of card number 3. All right, so let us know. Bonnie says lost completely. Let us know if you saw the cards. If any of them are resonating. If you guys are able to hear me, I'm just going to let you know. Because of these issues that I've been having, I'm experimenting with a new platform tomorrow. Tomorrow, I'll be on YouTube Live at this time. So 9 o'clock Central Time tomorrow is when I'm pretty much redoing this Insight Time. It's about the solar eclipse. It's going to be the same concept. It's my first time on YouTube Live, so I have zero idea how it works, but if you'd like to follow me, just search my name on YouTube. And I'm going to try that and just see what's different. So I'd love to have you guys join me at 9 o'clock Central tomorrow on YouTube. It sounds like you guys say that you can see everything, so I'm just going to keep going. So we asked... Let me just get back into that. We asked our higher selves what we need to know about this solar eclipse. What will help us through all of this craziness? Card number 1 is the 10th house. The message is authority. If your chart were a village map, the 10th house would hold the courthouse, government seat, and the public face of your work. Here is the arena for your most public self, your relationship to authority figures, and your role as a leader. You are being asked to step up and take on the next level of personal authority. It's hard to build something without a clear blueprint. So look at your definition of a strong leader and decide whether you need to amend it. Remember how you felt as a kid about your parents, the school principal, priests, police, and teachers, and observe whether they used their responsibility wisely and encouraged you to develop yours, or whether you needed to rebel to be safe. Notice your relationship to the concept of the divine authority and investigate if it was something to be feared, ignored, or expanded. Did it offer you safety and refuge? These patterns affect both how you react to outside authority and what you expect from yourself as a parent, professional, or leader. Sort between the traits that worked and those not worth emulating. Deconstruct assumptions about authority that no longer serve you. Authority is no longer what other people carry, it is what you are developing within. Take responsibility for healing old wounds around empowerment and create new blueprints. If needed, tell off someone who abused their authority, either in person, in therapy, or in a letter you burn and release. Get the training and certification you need. Create a mental collage of good role models, people who lead in a way that empowers others. Create a clear picture of competent, responsible, lovable, and empowering authority. Step into that role and be that pillar in your community and family with confidence. So what's interesting about this card, so this is all about like getting clear on if you were led the right way. You know, we put a lot of trust into our authority figures, especially as children, adolescents, teenagers, young adults. It's kind of like that blind trust in whoever is showing you the way, whether that's your teachers, your parents, your religious figures, if you were, you know, growing up in the church. And then as you get older and you learn things your own way, you start to realize, well, maybe that person was abusing their power. Maybe I used to get yelled at because of their insecurities and it had nothing to do with what I was doing. So that's a whole thing, especially with this solar eclipse being in Aries, the sign of the self. This card is reminding us to get clear on what we want, how we want to lead, and not necessarily being married to the traumatic ways that we were led in the past. If you picked this card, I suggest Jacqui's cord cutting on YouTube. Yeah, the other day we just did a cord cutting ceremony here on Insight Timer. I recorded it, threw it up on my YouTube channel. It was great. It was great. Yeah. Let's see what else comes out through this reading. Card number 2 is the last card of the deck. I love when that happens. First card, last card is always like monumental for me. So card number 2 brings us the message from progressions, and the message is journey. The planets continuously move through time and space. When you are born, you imprint the patterns of that moment, which are described in your natal chart. But the planets keep moving, and you also imprint the patterns they make as they progress through those first few months. These progressions sketch out the big, sweeping journey of your life. You live that pattern out at roughly the rate of a year to a day for the rest of your life. Once you're born, you can't choose the cycles you live through, but you always choose how you respond. Progressions do not speak of a passing thing, but to the big, sweeping arcs of karmic fate to your soul's journey. Your present situation may not make sense in the short term, because it has more to do with the big karmic patterns and how those interact with the karmic patterns of the world's progress, and less to do with your daily existence. If this is not the perfect eclipse card, my goodness. Stand back and look at your life's journey. Think of the years you engaged with the world and the years you needed time for more personal work. Consider making a timeline or painting this landscape to see where you are in those big, sweeping patterns. This situation may feel fated, but the outcome is not predestined. Though you may feel uncomfortable, you always have a choice about how you respond and where you go. To help guide you in the moment, consider where you would like to be at the end of your life, a far distant point, and look back. Let this future become your lighthouse to guide you. Even though you may have to go around the rocks and work with the tides, let your lighthouse guide you. Is that helping, Rosemary? I switched the camera view that I'm using, so it's all wonky on my end too. Yeah, this is just another cycle in your life. Think about all of the cycles that you've been through. Wow. Just like in the beginning, I was talking about the eclipses from last year, and Jacqui mentioned like, oh, I'm having similar feelings now that I was last year. The eclipses happened last April, May. They were in, they were in Taurus, Scorpio, well, the nodes. Yeah, similar patterns, right? And that wasn't like, just because something happens, just because something changes, doesn't mean it's going to be that way forever. We progress through this journey. So whatever is happening right now, while it might feel like, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God, it's literally just it's a passing thing. I love this deck so much. And this is like the most wonderful reading ever. So far, we had the 10th house. Questioning authority and the type of authority that you were raised through. Progressions was the last card of the deck. Knowing that you progress, cycles change. Sometimes you come to the end of a cycle. And then sometimes, guys, you come to the beginning of the cycle and you get card number 1, which is Aries, where this stupid solar eclipse is happening. My God, you can't make this up. You can't make this up. So card number 3 is Aries. The message is act. Aries asks you to remember your personal fire, your reasons for being alive. It pumps up the volume on your life force. Its energy is raw, exhilarated, direct, rude, passionate, and looking for a challenge. Use your wisdom to focus this raw power and give it a goal. Aries is the cardinal fire sign, whose fresh, brash enthusiasm is symbolized by a headstrong ram. It rules the head and imbues initiation, new beginnings, spontaneity, rebellion, and rebirth. Begin. Move into new territory. Cut to the chase. Be a hero. Feel the call to action and thoughtfully respond. Clear the air and clear the decks. Be crisp and to the point. Shoot from the hip. Set healthy boundaries just by being vibrantly alive. Express affection enthusiastically, spontaneously, and passionately. Work in short, intense bursts, rather than long periods of deep concentration. Aries activates our inner adolescent. Direct orders can set off knee-jerk rebellion. Instead of telling others what to do or how they feel, express your own experience and opinion and speak in I terms. Set a challenge and let others find their own answers. Make sure all sides feel heard. If a person feels torn between meeting their own needs and meeting another's, they'll take care of their own needs first, so don't set this up as an either-or situation. Aries energy boils over quickly. If a situation threatens to erupt in conflict, get out, take a break, and come back later. You guys have a lot going on right here, and I love it. I know there's like a million things that I can say about this card, but I know that you guys feel it. We'll talk about it, but I want to see what you guys were saying. This is Bonnie's card. Claire says, wow, we got this at the retreat. Yes, we did, Bonnie. Okay, the lightning on the side reminds me of the tower in tarot. I love it. Yes, tower moment. Lightning bolt of revelations, breaking down your whole reality, crumbling everything to the ground in order for you to start new. Yes, Kay, and the brickwork in the background, says Claire. Bonnie says, work until you're tired, not until you're done. I love that. I love that so much. Coming from a Capricorn, Bonnie, look at your evolution. Look at your enlightenment. Kay says, my inner teen has been rebelling like crazy lately. Thank you for your donation, Nicole. That's much appreciated. Kay, that's exactly what I was thinking about when I was reading this card. And oh my goodness, the third was absolutely what I needed, says Fiona. So glad you were here to see that. So here's my thing. Here's the that went off in my brain just now. First house is talking about 10th house authority. Through the last few years, I've woken up to a lot of deception that is among us in the world, and I have lost lots of trust in lots of authority in my life. I am a rebellious person. Like, my chart ruler is Uranus. I'm here to do things different. I'm here to rebel. I'm here to just do it my way. So in the last few years, I've been learning how to do it by myself and not trust my authority figures. However, this reading for me, guys, the middle is progressions. Learning that we're all changing. We all go through cycles. It's not just me that's, changing. Every single person always does the best they can with what they have. So what I got from especially reading the Aries card was that it's time to go back to that adolescent time of your life. Aries is the adolescent. Put yourself in that adolescent mindset and maybe stop poo-pooing on all of the authority figures that intentionally or unintentionally led me astray. A lot of our teachers lied to us because they were lied to. So maybe instead of taking my focus there, focus on who led me to be the way that I am. I had to learn it from someone. I didn't just pull this out of my butt. Maybe a lot of it was pulled out of my butt from seeing what I didn't want to do. But this card reminded me very strongly to look at, like, who did I learn from? Who showed me to be yourself? And it's probably the people that piss me off the most. It's probably the people that I thought were selfish who showed me the example of this is how you make yourself happy. Because that cycle of thinking that everyone is against me, that angsty teenager, that cycle doesn't have to be forever. I'm not saying that I think everyone is against me, but I still have those feelings of the past that, like, man, if I weren't taught XYZ, if I wasn't led to believe XYZ, where would I be right now? I don't know if the chat's froze or if we're just not, I don't know. Does that make sense to you guys? Thank you guys for your donations that have been coming through. They're very much appreciated. If you'd like to offer an energy exchange, donations are always appreciated. If you would like to take just a couple moments, send me an email. All my information is in my link tree in my Insight Timer bio. If you guys wouldn't mind, just reach out to me in some way and just let me know what you get out of this. Like, why are you here? Tell me, maybe it's my ego that needs it. I don't know. I'm trying to describe to people what they can get out of working with me, and it's difficult for me. So I'm asking for your help with that. If you could just let me know why you keep coming back, what you like about our sessions. And then, yes, tomorrow at 9 a.m., so 15 minutes ago, I'm in Central Time, 9 a.m. Central Time, I'm going to try out YouTube Live. It's my first time ever. What a better time to try something new than on the Aries solar eclipse. And my intention is to do exactly what I do here. I'm going to re-describe the solar eclipse. So I do astrology intuitively. Like, maybe tomorrow morning when I'm prepping my notes, some new things are going to come up with the chart. Like, maybe I'll see something different. So it's not going to be an exact verbatim explanation of what we talked about today. And then I'm also going to do oracle cards tomorrow on YouTube Live. So if you guys would like to do that. Yes, Bonnie, or you can send me a message on Insight Timer. I don't know how to do that, so if you know how to do that, that's another way. Or if you'd like to just put it in the chat right now. My helper, Bonnie, is helping with that. Do you want to use what we say as testimonials on your website? It would be good for your offerings, right? However it wants to come out for you. If it comes out as a testimonial for my website, that would be appreciated. But what I'm asking for right now, so I'm trying to put together a coaching program, like a package, and I'm trying to describe the benefit to people of working with me. But I've never worked with me, so it's hard for me to put into words like, we can do a whole metamorphosis of your life, but like, people want that concrete, like what this, this person learned how to not be afraid of change, and this person learned, so that's the stuff that I'm looking for. Rosemary, YouTube tomorrow, 20 minutes ago from this time, 9 a.m. Central Time. Oh yes, or if you want to post it in our spiritual community. Rosemary, Darlene, Jackie, Fiona, thank you guys so much for your donations. They're very much appreciated. I strongly believe that the people who rub against us or push us are the ones we learned from the most. That is 100% true. The people who piss you off are the ones that... Tension leads to growth. Squares, Pluto squaring all this stuff, don't be afraid of it. It's just tension leading to growth. I want to see if I missed anything else. Ah, thank you, Jackie. Yeah, thanks for your support. I love you guys a lot. Yeah, that's it. I am gonna get out of here for today because I need to edit this replay before I put it on YouTube so we don't get that chunk in the middle of when I lost my audio and we had all the fun things. Rosemary says, you are so knowledgeable regarding astrology. Also, you seem to tap into your guides really well. You communicate guidance really well. Thank you, Rosemary. Kind words, thank you. And Bonnie says, wow, I just have no comments in here. Ugh. It's okay, I got a screenshot. Jamie says, I'm in the process of opening a cannabis dispensary in Jersey City. I've spent the last year putting my blood, sweat, and tears into it. And this week, the city put a 6-month hold on the approval process. While I know that that seems very frustrating, and oh my goodness, we're talking about these solar eclipses and it can last for 6 months. That's the whole thing that I've been saying today. And here's a 6-month hold on your approval process. It's just the universe having your back. It seems frustrating, but like something isn't lining up right now and you're being supported. Needing a boost to keep fighting the fight. Trust. You can find it in yourself. Trust the universe. Everything happens for you, not to you. It will happen at the right time. Hang in there. Yeah, everything happens for us. When something's... I'm trying to think of an example in my life when something like walked away, but opened space for something newer, or something was put on hold. Yeah, I don't know. Have you been praying for patience? I love that, Wade. I love that, Wade. Yeah, like when you try to manifest something, if you try to manifest $1 million, it's really hard to get $1 million. But if you manifest comfort and security, it's easier to find those emotions within yourself than it is to find the tangible things. Okay, the retreat location. What do you mean? Blessings in disguise, says Claire. Bonnie says uncooperative, insight timer. I'm about to get out of here. Thank you, Jackie and friends. Uplifting start to the day. Love to all. Namaste.